Hello everyone. Here in the UK there's a certain area of land called the West Country. Here it is. Now I propose that this area can categorically be called a freak show, in the best possible way. So for our first exhibit, an old man, but in this case like a really old man, is in aged 152, supposedly. Apparently this guy, Tom Parr, was born in 1483 in Shropshire, in the West Country. By age 18 he was already doing far better than any of us, as he owned a farm. He also remained a bachelor until aged 80, so make of that what you will. He was as fertile as his soil though, and fathered a couple of kids with his new wife, all of whom died in infancy. This 80-year-old might have been voracious though, as he perhaps had a mistress. It's hard to tell. Well, anyway, some uppity lord was visiting Shropshire, and he heard of Tommy and paid him a visit. He was taken to London as a curiosity, and died a couple of months later. In that time he met the ill-fated King Charlie and lived a life of luxury, which probably killed him. Along with, 17th century London being dirtier than 21st century London. On to his age then. See, in his autopsy there was no disbelief that this elderly nymphomaniac was 152. They all just went along with it. The autopsy notes said that his body was all in pretty good shape, which leads us to the surprising theory that this man was not, in fact, 152. Maybe just 70. There exists no birth register for him, so it's a bit difficult to identify his date of birth. So, yeah. Next freak. Our second exhibit is a tall man, but like a really tall man. Born in 1578 in Cheshire, the Child of Hale was a bit tall, as in 9 foot 3 inches tall, or 2.82 metres in actual units. That would make him, John Middleton, the tallest guy on record, beating out this American fellow. He might have just, and I say just lightly here, been 7 foot 9, and the world isn't made for people like that. Just watch Monsters vs Aliens. He apparently slept with his feet sticking out the end of his house, like a cuckoo clock if a cuckoo clock had a giant man in it. Just like last time, a noble guy came a-knocking and became his patron. This guy, with an awesome name, Gilbert Island, took John to Oxford. For some reason. Eventually they made their way to London to meet the king, who had a genius idea. What if there was one big guy and another big guy? And we made them fight. So John fought the king's wrestler and broke his thumb. Fun! He got £20 for it though, and whilst now you might just be able to afford a sandwich with it, back then that was quite a lot of money. Just a shame he couldn't keep it. This guy, who was over 9 foot and beat the king's wrestler, got mugged. Or maybe just swindled. Either way, he made it back to Hale penniless and died soon after. So yeah, being tall leads to death. Just look at the Diplodocus. Oh wait, you can't because they're all dead. Our last story, / freak, either has the most or least ambiguity, depending on who you ask. But by virtue of watching this video, you're asking me, and I'm saying there's the least. It's 1889 and what ho, the circus are in town. Wait, and when I say in town, I mean in the small village of Ruardine. And when I say circus, I mean 4 French guys and their 2 bears. These 2 bears supposedly injured a woman and killed a child on their way to the village. So, in response, some guys decided to off the bears and assaulted their owners too. The problem was that these guys, as stated, were French, so didn't speak any English. The other problem was that the bears had in fact not attacked anyone. No rude kids or bald heads here. 2 of the French guys ran off into the woods and appeared in Cardiff, so I presume that the other 2 were beaten extra badly. Well, the villagers were charged, the French guys were compensated, and all was well. Except that their primary source of income was now gone. The phrase, "who killed the bears," became the ultimate insult against Ruardine. And nowadays, if you ask a Ruardinite the question, they will roll over onto their back and squirm. The kicker is, of course, that Ruardine didn't actually do anything wrong. It was the citizens of the next town over, Cinderford, who did the crime and who were convicted. But hey, West Country's gonna West Country. So if any of you do venture out into Shropshire, keep an eye on the citizens. And if you are from out west, I'm hiring new performers? Well then.